Welcome to the Software Generation Training Snippet Series. Today's topic is what's new in Sage Pro ERP 7.7, and we'll be specifically covering miscellaneous changes, the system-wide changes, inventory changes, manufacturing, and other changes. Okay, so let's see what's changed. This is what we're going to be covering today in a few odds and ends. The General Ledger account numbers on improved General Ledger reports. There are several reports this applies to. We're going to go through one of them. The IC group count inventory count improvements to help you edit more than one item at a time. The work order item drill down to bill of materials to allow you to access bills and materials from other places in the system, especially from inventory control. The work order revision levels on the work order travelers report change, and we're not going to look at, but we'll talk about the PR4. The Payroll 4 to a page improvement for the W-2s to print 4 up on laser printers. And we'll cover maybe a couple other things. Year-to-date stats on the BSR, where they're set, how to look at them. And finally, the switch between add and edit dialogues. Okay, first thing, there's a new option in the grid to display account numbers on a variety of reports. So let's go look at the detailed income statement for period and year to date. So let's go to General Ledger. And we'll go to report. Look at the income statement, period, year to date, total company. And as we work through the grid here, you'll see down at the bottom, it says, do you want to show accounts? We say yes, and the report will then list the accounts off to the side. It generally forces the report into landscape mode to do this because it takes up more space, but you can now, instead of just seeing the report, seeing the account descriptions, see the actual account numbers on the reports. An improvement that we were asked for quite a bit on a number of reports. Okay, so there's the list of reports that it will appear on. It only shows the detail reports, not the summary versions, and the level of detail must be set to account level of detail. You can't roll up and see account numbers. Okay, item drill down to bill of material. Pretty straightforward. Simply added it to the screen. So let's flip back to the IC module here just to start. So say you pick an item. It should have a bill of materials if you do pick the item. So pick item master and we'll put AI to get aircraft scale. And there's the aircraft scale, and I know it has a bill of materials. And now I'll use the chisel drill down feature. Those of you not familiar with this little blue item here is the chisel. And as I pass my mouse over it, it goes to a vertical bar, and I right click on it and select drill down, and there is bill of materials. Very handy tool, the chisels, to get access to information. And I am now in the bill of materials screens, and I can see the bill, change the bill, add new bills. I do pretty much anything I want from this screen at this point. Okay, so again, that's pass your mouse over the part number where the blue chisel is, drill down, and select bill of materials. You might want to take a look at this item quantity inquiry screen. Nice screen to see where your inventory is, what's going on in the system. Okay, you have to have privileges for this to access this item in the bill of material module. Okay, revision numbers on work order travelers. I'm not going to run this, but if you do want to run the work order traveler, one of the things we've added to the work order traveler report is the revision level. If you take a look at the report itself, you can see that the revision level is here. This is the same aircraft scale. I don't have any revisions of these particular items, but they are there and you can see them. So that's been added to the report at the request of our customers. All right. Group inventory count improvements. These are nice because you can now edit more than one item at a time. Pretty straightforward. Go into transaction, manage, enter inventory count. And here you select group instead of individual and you will get a list on the screen. You build the list first by setting filters here of the items you want to see. And I'm just going to bop through this and select all. When you get to this item, you click on the pick list. It brings up an edit list. Now this is a little change from a typical pick list in that you select which items you want to just enter counts for or which items you want to actually edit. So down here at the bottom you'll see your directions. X marks for count, E marks for edit and count. The spacebar will toggle through and select an option. XE blank will toggle through that. Alt-A selects all, flags them all. Alt-U unflags them all. So quick look at that. Let's go back and move the focus here. I hit the space bar, I got an X. I hit the space bar again, I got an E. I hit a space bar again, I got nothing. Now I hit the Alt A, and it asks me if I want to be counted, edit, or cancel. So I can say everything's to be counted, everything's to be edited, or it's to be canceled. So if I do E, everything is marked for edit. Notice I can do Alt U, and everything will be unmarked except for the one I've already marked manually. So I can unmark that one. So that's how you mark items. Let's mark a group of items for counts. Notice I'm marking multiple locations for pipe, and I go through and I mark a whole bunch of items for count that way. Actually, what I really want to do is, let's Alt U and undo it. I really want to mark them for edit. So I'm just going to put E's in all of them. And I'm using the down arrow key. All right, and I'm just going to hit enter. And it says one or more items marked that they do not have an on-hand quantity. I have to do, for those that are zero quantity items, I have to add those items to inventory count and use the individual option for those items. I cannot put zero count items onto this particular editing grid. Okay, so there they are, and now I can put a reference in, and I can edit the counts on those items. And notice I can go through and do multiple items. I do the 186s for multiple occasions. They appear multiple times because they are in lots. That is not something wrong with the system. It's just every lot gets counted as a different item. Then I've got the ICC 880 bulk. So a couple of 2492s and so on. I can't be negative on this. I'm not supposed to be. So I go down through and I do my counts. And that's how you set your counts and then record them. So it's a faster way to go through and do multiple items in one pass. Okay, any questions on this, feel free to give me a holler. Nice feature. The other thing we've added to this is the ability to actually, this is not in the standard system, but we've added the ability to bring in a spreadsheet of information, to bump this out to a spreadsheet, edit the spreadsheet rather than direct, and then bring the information back in and edit it inside a Pro. Okay. You got to do individual for zero quantity. Counts for all items has to be the same in terms of you must use the same inventory control account to post any changes. Year-to-date statistics on the business status report. Everybody loves the business status report, and it's here on the thermometer. This gives you a snapshot of your business in real time, and it is date sensitive. What we've added to this is the ability to do some year-to-date statistics and to accumulate them in here. You go in and play with this. The rules are pretty self-evident. They're the same rules that apply to the other reports. They use daily average cumulative as the amount type. And user-defined work days, you have to define the work days in the current year so it knows how many work days to divide by, and user defines the report date that they want to use to get that particular information. So you can actually change the date here and change the working days so far this year here to get different numbers and averages. Nice report, handy little report to get a snapshot of your business. Finally, we've added print laser form W2 forms per sheet, which allow you to do four up laser of W2s. Very inconvenient to have to print the old way where you were printing tons and tons of paper, and this helps save trees. Okay, a new feature that we've added that really isn't in any particular module but is nice to know about is the ability to switch modes in certain screens. So if you're in a sales order or a purchase order or an invoice, a variety of screens, you can go in and start doing data entry on an ad basis. And so I've got this basic sales order into the system. I've ordered a washer, and I'm overpricing it, and I'm going to proceed. And I save this order, or if I want to, I didn't really have to do this. I am in ad mode at this point. I can punch this button right here and change to void orders. So I can go here, go to change or void orders. Pick an order, including the one I just worked on, and pull it up out of the system. So that lets me flip between the different modes. Notice I'll go back into an add mode, and it asks me, you want to add an order, a bid, a return, or cancel, and I'll go cancel, and notice that both screens do remain open. There. Okay. That pretty much covers the miscellaneous items that were not in the other specific shows. You might want to look at the What's New Series 7.7 other videos, which include the overview and technical aspects of the update, accounts receivable and sales orders features, accounts payable and purchase order features. Thank you very much for spending time with us today. I'm Steve Warren with Software Generation. Have a nice day.